Бабо, как ми си прияла една торта.
Това торта, бе! Тортата е за капиталисти. Значи торта.
Greetings comrades and welcome to the new video. It will be for a fairly simple dessert that my babushka used to prepare back in the day. We didn't have quite a lot of variety of products, so essentially this cake would contain very low amount of products. I use figs and apples, and these are directly from our garden in the Slav village. My mother brought them to me one day, and she brought so many of them that I decided to make this cake. And yeah, it is inspired by a cake that my babushka used to prepare back in the day. She mainly used apples for it, but today I updated it a little bit. With that said, let's see how it is prepared so you can enjoy that Slavic goodness too. The products you need for this Slav-inspired cake, fruit cake, are 6 spoons of flour, 6 spoons of sugar, which turned to be exactly around 100 grams of sugar, some baking powder, this is around 15 grams of baking powder and I'll be using the whole package, some vanilla, which is essential for that cake in my opinion, 6 whole eggs, and some fruit by taste. I had some nice apples from my village. My mother brought them to me, some nice figs, but you can go with whatever fruit you have. If you don't have available seasonal fruit right now, you can go even with frozen berries. It is perfect like that also. And just to brag a little bit, look at that fig. It's perfect. It was so sweet and so tasty. I ate like 10 of these before making the cake, but I couldn't resist eating that too. Stop eating figs right now, time to cut them. And for the purposes of this cake, I will just cut them into some circles. Just make sure if, like figs, if they're soft, there's a high possibility the fig to be rotten. So make sure to clean them. After that, clean the apples. You can peel them if you want, but I don't see a problem in eating the peels, especially when they're baked. So I was a little bit lazy and I just cut the apples with the peels on, and I'll be using them like that for our cake. And after you're finished with cutting the apples, it's time to prepare our dough mixture by starting with 6 eggs. Crack them in a bowl. Make sure not to have some egg shells in it, because I know from a friend they don't taste nice. Mix in the sugar, add some vanilla and some baking powder with the flour. Basically it should be like with the dough consistency, but it should be like a very runny dough. It should not be very thick dough, like we should be able to pour it. So yeah. And the funny thing here is that there's no specific measurement. My babushka always measured things with cups, with spoons, with stuff like that. So yeah, 6 spoons of sugar, 6 spoons of flour, 6 eggs is the formula for this cake. Basically, the eggs is 666, Iron Maiden would like that. After that, take some dish and butter it a little bit, just to make sure our cake won't stick to it. It's important to be buttered, and we'll start by ordering the fruit. Yeah, we'll be starting with the fruit. Cover everything with figs, sprinkle the apples on top, and after that just pour your dough, which will unite all the fruit when it cooks. And make sure to like sprinkle everything evenly and add it in the oven for 20 minutes on 180 Celsius until it's golden brown. And yeah, that's basically it. It's a really easy cake. And just leave it to cool off. It needs its time to cool off, like don't go right after the oven and eating it, because first you burn yourself, second it still cooks. Just make sure with a knife to separate it from the baking dish, and after half an hour or an hour we can start separating pieces. And yeah, it turned out very nice, soft, moist cake, and the fig, see how it caramelized on the bottom. It tasted perfectly. A Slav difficulty level for this cake is 2 out of 5. Very easy to prepare. Just cut some fruit, pour some dough on top, and you're ready. For the effort it takes, it's very nice and tasty. Serve it with some confectioner sugar, and that's it. Now, some taste and final words. Бабо, знаеш какво ще стане, ако издеш 42 парчета торта?
И какво бе? Какво ще стане?
Еми ще станеш дебела. Какво? Да не очакваше да знаеш какво е значението на живота.
Абе, няма да говориш така на баба си.
So, comrades, let's see how should I call it? Fruitcake tastes like. I remember how my babushka prepared this every time she had some extra fruit, which typically was some apples, because yeah, we had a lot of apples back in the day, but this dessert turns out great with any fruit you have. I use seasonal fruit. This time my mother brought me some nice figs. You saw this huge figs. We have that fig tree in the Slav village, which gives this huge figs. You saw them when we were preparing this cake. Basically, it's the easiest cake you can prepare. You just cut some fruit down and pour the mixture on top, and you are ready with a nice dessert. You put some confectioner sugar on top for some extra sweetness, and it's perfect. You can imagine that I won't eat all of this at one sitting. It's just for the thumbnail and for the shooting purposes, but one or two pieces with the tea or with the coffee are perfect. Now let me try it. I already tried it, but I'm finding excuses to try it again. The fruit keeps the moisture in, and the dough unites the fruit. Basically, a perfect combination, and the taste of vanilla is perfect. So, if you like something sweet, but in the same time a light dessert, you can try this. And I rely mainly on the sweetness from the fruit, because I added just 100 grams of sugar for the whole tava. So basically you can, what I'm trying to say is you can adjust the amount of sugar based on your preferences. Remember, use any type of fruit. I just had apples and figs this time. This was all from me, comrades. Now it's pretty late here. Everyone at home are sleeping, and I should be very quiet so I don't wake them up. Slav you next time. And by the way, wanna see who's there? It's Soviet Doggo, yeah. Sleep well, Soviet Doggo.